My shoulders have been screaming at me for 3 years. That sharp pinch in my front deltoid every time I lowered the bar to my chest. That grinding sensation in my AC joint when I pressed heavy weight overhead. That constant dull ache that never fully went away, even on rest days. I ignored it because that's what you're supposed to do, right? No pain, no gain. Bench press is the king of upper body exercises. Every program has it. Every strength standard is measured by it. So I kept benching. 275 pounds for reps. Chest day every Monday without fail, because that's what serious lifters do. But here's what nobody tells you when they're worshiping at the altar of the bench press. Sometimes the exercise everyone considers essential is actually destroying your body from the inside out. Sometimes the movement that's supposed to build your chest is systematically dismantling your shoulder joints rep by rep, week by week, year by year. And sometimes walking away from the exercise everyone says you need is exactly what saves your training career and unlocks chest development you never thought possible. This is the story of how I quit bench pressing completely for 6 months and built a bigger, more balanced chest while simultaneously fixing shoulder pain that had plagued me for years. No, this isn't some anti-bench press manifesto. I have the measurements, the pain-free shoulders, and the physique photos to prove it. And by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why the bench press might be the worst thing you're doing for long-term shoulder health and chest development. Let me take you back to where this started. I'd been benching religiously for 6 years. Started in high school like most guys do, obsessing over hitting 2 plates, then 3 plates, then eventually pushing for 315. I read all the form articles, I watched all the technique videos. I thought I was doing everything right. Retracted scapula, tucked elbows at 45 degrees, full range of motion touching the chest every rep. But despite following all the rules, my shoulders were falling apart. The pain started subtle. Just a slight discomfort in my anterior deltoid during the bottom of the press. I thought it was normal. Everyone talks about feeling it in your shoulders during bench. But over months, it got worse. The discomfort became sharp pain. The sharp pain became chronic ache. And eventually, I couldn't sleep on my left side because the pressure on my shoulder joint was too intense. I'd wake up multiple times a night because I'd rolled onto my bad shoulder. But here's what's insane. My chest wasn't even growing proportionally to the effort I was putting in. I was benching twice a week, progressively overloading, eating in a surplus, doing everything by the book. And yeah, I had some chest development, but it was unbalanced. My mid-chest had some thickness, sure, but my upper chest was flat. My lower chest had poor definition. And my inner chest, that line down the middle that creates separation, was basically non-existent. Despite years of heavy bench pressing, my chest looked average at best. My shoulders looked worse. My anterior deltoids were overdeveloped and rounded forward. My rear delts were invisible, and my posture was terrible. Internally rotated shoulders, forward head position, the classic bench press slouch that every gym bro develops after years of pressing without balance. I looked like someone who benched heavy, but I didn't look good. And more importantly, I felt terrible. Then came the incident that forced everything to change. I was midway through my 3rd set of bench press, 265 for 8 reps, when I felt something pop in my left shoulder on rep 5. Not a catastrophic tear, but a distinct pop followed by searing pain that made me rack the bar immediately. I couldn't lift my arm above shoulder height without intense pain. I couldn't reach behind my back. I couldn't even put on a jacket without wincing. I went to a sports orthopedist the next week. The diagnosis? Shoulder impingement syndrome with possible labral fraying. The repeated motion of bench pressing, even with good form, had created chronic inflammation in my subacromial space. The constant internal rotation and anterior loading had shortened my pectoral muscles, pulled my shoulders forward, and created a biomechanical disaster. The doctor's recommendation? Stop bench pressing indefinitely. Focus on exercises that don't put the shoulder in compromised positions under heavy load. I left that appointment feeling like my training career was over. How do you build a chest without bench pressing? That's like trying to build legs without squatting. It's blasphemy in the fitness world. But I also couldn't lift my arm without pain, so I didn't exactly have a choice. I had 6 months minimum before I could even consider benching again. So I made a decision. I wouldn't just rest. I'd experiment. I'd find exercises that built my chest better than bench press ever did, while fixing my shoulders instead of destroying them. I spent a week researching shoulder-friendly chest exercises and biomechanics. And I kept coming back to one movement that everyone overlooks: the dumbbell floor press. Not regular dumbbell bench press, floor press. Lying on the floor with limited range of motion that prevents your shoulders from going into extreme extension at the bottom of the movement. It looked too simple, too limited, too easy. But the biomechanics were perfect for what I needed. Here's why the floor press is superior for shoulder health. First, the limited range of motion prevents your shoulders from going past neutral. In a regular bench press, the bar touches your chest, which puts your shoulder joint in maximum extension and internal rotation. That's the position where impingement happens. Please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our stories. Drop a comment below and tell me what lesson did you learn.